I just saw some video that is absolutely horrific of outside the Kabul airport as a suicide bomb has gone off. Multiple people are dead. American casualties as well. It's horrific, and it's going to get worse. Yesterday, the U.S. Embassy sent out a message to everyone telling Americans to avoid certain gates around the airport. Like avoid the east gate, avoid the north gate. Now, I heard that yesterday, and I am desperately looking for the best explanations possible for everything that's happening right now. I'm so desperate for hope because I have none. I have no hope for all the Americans and allies who are stuck in Afghanistan. I got no hope. So I'm desperate. So when I heard the White House say, send that message out, clear people away from the gates, my first thought was maybe it's because the American military wants to start some sort of operation, right? So they're saying, hey, Americans, clear the way. We're going out, right? Clear the way. There may be some weapons fired as we're going out to do business, strike forces, get what we need, who we need, and bring them in. That was my hope. No, because then we heard that the reason the gates were cleared is because there was threats of a terrorist attack. The Brits, Belgium, New Zealand, Australia all released a very similar warning, similar intelligence, and then not but a few. And I heard that and I was like, okay, well maybe still that's not exactly what's happening. And then it wasn't but a few hours later, and now we know. Indeed, a suicide attack outside of the airport. This isn't it. This isn't it. More to come. And now we have reports of an Italian plane was taking off from the airport and it had to do a maneuver. I saw pictures way worse than that even. So we can't air them. We can't put them on the TV. I'll tell you, bodies piled high. Bodies ripped to shreds, piled, and like as bad as you could possibly imagine. So anyway, the Italian plane was taken off and had to do some maneuvers because people were shooting at it. Okay? I don't know if there'll be any more flights in or out of the airport at this point. That's it. That's all. That's it. So if you're stuck, what hope do you have? The only excuse that Biden's team is now making, but the new excuse is, it's their fault. It's your fault. You're stuck in Afghanistan. That's your fault that you didn't leave sooner. You should have left sooner. That's their take now. So I live in San Diego. There are 24 students from a local school district and 16 parents who are stranded in Afghanistan. They're Afghans. They've been in America for years now with a special visa, right? Because they helped the U.S. military, right? So they're American allies. They've been here for a long time. They decided to go back for a trip to Afghanistan. They had return tickets, of course, right? Before school started, they were going to get back, but they couldn't get to the airport. So they're still stuck. They're stuck in Afghanistan. What are they going to do? And I'm just trying to be straight. I'm not trying to be dramatic at all. We are in a horrific situation right now. Please tell me any scenario where these kids are not killed. Tell me that scenario. How does that work where these kids and their adults, of course, their parents, of course, are not killed? What is the Taliban going to do to these families who have already fled Afghanistan, right? They helped America in some way, right? They had a visa to be here. They've been here. They are the enemy to the Taliban. They are traitors to the Taliban. In their eyes, these Afghans helped kill members of the Taliban. They are traitors. It's very simple. We don't need to make it any more complex. These people are traitors to the Taliban, and now they are in the Taliban's hands entirely. And this is true for Afghans, of course, and it's true for American citizens as well. Who could possibly think that the Taliban is going to have mercy on Americans? How could you possibly think that? I pray for it. Let's play this video quick. This is Clarissa Ward. Clarissa Ward's from CNN. She's been crushing it in the streets of Kabul, right? Dressed in a burqa, of course, wherever she goes. Unbelievable. Give her all the awards. here she is not on the streets, therefore wearing normal clothes, talking about Biden.
It is just an absolute mess. And we heard President Biden say yesterday in his comments to ABC News that this is not a failure. And I think a lot of people outside that airport, particularly those taking the kinds of extreme actions we're just talking about, would like to know, if this isn't failure, what does failure look like exactly?
That was like 4 or 5 days ago, that clip. It's only gotten worse. And we will have Americans dead. Americans will die because of this. A lot. I thought Biden was the competent choice. Right? Trump was so mean on Twitter. So we need a competent president. And we need a president with empathy. Of course, he's neither. This is Reuters. A couple days ago, President Biden is brushing off criticism of his administration's chaotic Afghanistan withdrawal because he and his aides believe the domestic political fallout will be limited. It's all a political calculation. It's all a political calculation. He even got that wrong, by the way. But that's all that matters to him. It's all that matters to him is the political fallout. He didn't think there would be any. He knew there'd be people dead. No doubt about that. Blank him. We'll end here. We have some great guests coming up in Afghanistan. Let me play this quick. This is from a Vice documentary. There's been some great Vice documentaries from inside Afghanistan. Here's the reporter talking to some of the Taliban leaders who we're dependent on, right? These are the guys who we're cooperating with in order to get the Americans out.
So do you think there could be a time where there would be a Taliban president? Would that still include women's rights and a democracy? So would you believe in the democratic vote, though? So would people be allowed to vote in women politicians?
Stop being.
Okay, that's fine. You just want to answer it. That's all right.
That makes me laugh, he said. And the White House is telling us that the Taliban is going to have an inclusive government for women. Have you ever seen thousands of people killed in slow motion? That's what we're witnessing right now.
Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Like,
Subscribe. Get more.